Are you starting to doubt your connection again? Are the fears coming back in, the doubts? Wondering, is this even real? Are you going crazy? What the fuck is even going on? This is the energy this week. More doubts, more lack of trust. It's like literally we're in this energy of, what do I do? Do I stay or do I go? But what we need to remember here is that we have to trust. Trust what our soul feels, trust in our twin, trust in our connection, but most importantly, trust in ourselves and trust in our intuition. Because what our intuition is telling us is real, our fears are not. My name is Angela Cleary. I'm a feminine empowerment coach. I specialise in healing after narcissistic abuse, and I also offer twin flame and spiritual guidance. There is huge energy this last week, and I don't know if it's connected to the eclipse energies. There's so much emotion coming up, so much emotion. And for the first couple of days I was getting this emotion, I was like, I knew it was connected to my twin flame. I knew it was. But I was kind of a little bit avoidant of it. I thought it was just maybe their energy, or it was just surface level energy. So I thought it wasn't anything, major. But the more it happened, it's just this energy of complete sadness. And anytime I saw a couple on the television or anything like that, or saw a guy being good to a girl on television, I was like literally in this pain and sadness, kind of going, when is my twin flame ever going to treat me like that? And then a part of me was even saying, is my twin flame even my twin flame? Or, are they even real? Or, do I forget about this if he's not doing the work? Do I move on? Do I call in a soulmate? All of this shit was coming into my head, and I was literally in this pain and the sadness of, when am I ever going to be treated right? You know what I mean? When am I ever going to be respected? Valued, appreciated? When is that ever going to happen for me? And all of this brought up some serious emotions for me this week. And it was only last night that it clicked for me. And it really clicked for me. I was crying again. I was going through that intensity again. I'm going through that pain again after seeing that on television. And I was just like, I got to the core of it. I kept, this whole week I've been asking my angels, I've been like, what do I do? Is this real? Do I wait, or do I call in a soulmate? And I was like, what am I supposed to do? And every time I ask that question, it always comes around full circle. It literally comes back around to my intuition, the truth within my soul. So the question starts with the pain, calling in someone else. Should I do this? Is this a lack of self-worth? Is this because my twin flame isn't coming back? Is this that? Is it that, the other? And then it comes back to the full circle of saying, trust in what you feel, trust in how you met, trust in the connection you hold deeply, trust in how they've treated you already. And I don't mean how they've treated you in separation. I mean how they've treated you physically. As in, what I mean is, I keep going, will my twin flame ever be the person that I deserve? And of course he is. And because we go through the energy of doubt, all we can think about is the negative. Oh, why do we do this? There could be 100 million positives, but we always think about the negative. And I'm like, this isn't going to work out. I deserve better. What am I going to do? Am I going to call it? All this shit's coming in. And then I remember all the times that I was in his presence. Ever since we've healed as empaths, our energy radar is on point. We know what energy feels like. And I know what I feel like in my twin flames company. I feel safe. I've never, ever, ever felt safe enough to be feminine in my life. I'm a real girl now. Do you know what I mean? And the safety I feel with him. I feel his energy. And I know when he's lying to me, and I know when he's not. So, you're not going to pick up on lies and if they're telling you lies all the time. Do you know what I mean? So, you can feel their truth. You can feel, and he's such a good guy. He's got such a good soul. And he's been really compassionate and caring towards me. You know what I mean? So he has looked at me and cared for me the way I deserve. But when I go through the energy of doubt and fear and, when we're in this silence, I do question it. I'm like, am I ever going to be treated with respect? Is this ever going to happen? And I come back around to the question again. And then I ask myself the question again, and I ask the angels the question again. It's like, tell me, what do I need to do? And the loudest message I keep getting is, trust your intuition. And when we're in the fear and doubt and the energy of, oh my God, this isn't working out, I'm fucking crazy. Is this even real? What if I'm fucking wrong? I think that's one of the biggest fears we have as well. What if I'm wrong? We've been through so much pain and shit with exes, with catalysts, with karmics, whatever. And it's literally like, what if I'm wrong again? what if I'm fucking wrong again and I've wasted all this time? But then it comes back to the soul. That's the ego. That's the human side. That's the fear of the past, or the fear of the energy that we went through in the past, the fear of the past repeating itself. And then it comes full circle. And your soul starts saying to you, remember what you feel in their energy. Like, you compare your twin flame to your catalyst or to your karmic or to your past exes, whatever. They're not the fucking same. And I keep saying this, like, the reason your twin flame is not your type is because your type was fucking toxic. Do you know what I mean? And you can tell even by comparing the human side of your twin flame with your past. They're so fucking different. Your twin flame will never intentionally hurt you. Yes, they might say things that from a wounded place that might hurt you, or they might ghost you, and that might trigger your self-worth wound. But anything they do, they're doing it from their own wounding. And anything they do can only hurt you based on your own level of wounding. So the more you heal, the less that will affect you. But your twin flame has never really been a complete asshole. They have ghosted, or they've gone quiet, or they might have said the wrong thing. But they've never actually been complete dickheads. Do you know, when they're with you, they respect you. You know, there's a different energy there to the energy you felt in the past. You know, and this is why we have to keep coming back to our intuition, our trust. That's the real part. You know what I mean? And there's such a loud energy as well, right? You know, we all fucking get addicted to tarot readings, and we're always watching them. And I for the start of my journey, it was constant. It was morning, noon, night. I was fucking obsessed. Even if I couldn't sleep, I'd be up at 4 o'clock in the morning watching fucking tarot readings, right? So I reduced that down to just an hour a day when I was cooking the dinner. But over the last week, I've gone cold turkey. I'm not watching tarot anymore. I've decided not to because I was guided not to. Because the loud message I was getting, even before my emotions came in this week, was trust your intuition. We're all spiritual beings living a human experience. We all have psychic abilities. We all have inner knowing. So we're here to listen to our own divine guidance, our own divination. Do you know what I mean? So that was what I was guided to last week, was literally stop watching tarot because you have the truth within you. And then when these emotions came up this week, these intense fucking emotions, what I got last night was finally when I listened to it and when I worked through it all, I was like, trust your intuition. Stop fucking listening to the outside. Trust what is within you. Trust what you feel. And like, I'm constantly reminded again of how we met. Of how my soul felt that morning. Of how my soul felt the first time I heard his voice. The first time I saw his face. Do you know, the connection we had, that instant recognition, that instant connection we had, straight away. There's just no doubt in it. That's nothing I've ever experienced before. The feelings I have with him and for him, they're feelings I've never had before. You know what I mean? And I know the past keeps coming back in and saying, yeah, but you could be wrong because you were wrong in the past. But if you want to compare right now how you feel, how you met, everything about your twin flame to anything or anyone you've ever had in your past, it's not the fucking same. If there's any similarities, or if there is the sameness to your twin and your past, there's a good chance that's a karmic. Do you know what I mean? But like, if you're genuinely looking at this whole situation, the meeting, the connection, the chemistry, all of it, it's not the same as your past. You know, they're not your type either. You know what I mean? Like, it's just completely different. That's what it's supposed to be. And then, you know, this is why we have to take the time to listen to our truth. Take the time to listen to our soul. Take the time to listen to our intuition. Because if we're bombarded with fears and doubts and all those fucked up thoughts, that's your fear, that's your human, that's your ego, that's your past. Take a minute to actually ask yourself, how do I feel when I'm with them? How did I feel when I met them? How do they treat me compared to the people that have treated me badly in the past? Is he an asshole in disguise, or is he not? You know, and I know deep down my twin flame is not an asshole. He's not. He's just a good person, and he's a good soul, and I know that. I feel that. And I know he has the potential to do the work, because he was already awakening unconsciously before I met him. He's already tuned in. He's already open-minded. He's already knows that there's more to this world than what we've been living. So I know he's going to he's going to evolve out of where he's at. The hardest part for them is the emotional side of things. The hardest part for them is to face their emotions, express their emotions. This is stuff, this macho fucking toxic masculine mentality. That's the hardest thing for these divine masculines to come out of, is to actually learn that it's okay to commit to somebody. It's okay to love somebody. It's okay. It's safe. It's safe to be with your twin flame. It wasn't safe in the past. Commitment didn't feel safe. And then when you tried to commitment, it was definitely unsafe because that person controlled you or, you know, abused you or whatever. So it's really hard to come back and trust somebody again. But your twin flame is not going to fuck you up. You're both conscious beings, conscious spiritual beings, entering into a conscious relationship. It's not going to work. It's not going to be the same way. Like, this is the importance of awareness. Like, you're going into this aware with your eyes wide open. That's a fact. Whereas when we went into toxic relationships in the past, we were wounded. We were in our trauma bubble. We did not see anything, but we weren't aware of anything. So we were avoiding confrontation. We were avoiding everything, avoiding all of it. Whereas in healing through our twin flame journey, we're coming into a relationship consciously. We have to trust all these things. I'm so sick of listening to my fucking human. Fuck that side of ourselves. This is a soul connection. You know, human logic cannot explain it, cannot heal it. You know what I mean? It doesn't work. Fuck the past, like, forget the past. The only way we can actually navigate our soul journey, our twin flame journey, is through our soul. But if we're constantly ignoring our intuition and trying to explain, I was going to say mansplain, literally explain ourselves into this connection, it's not going to work. You cannot explain a twin flame connection with a human mind. You can only, you know, understand it through your soul. And that's when you need to remove the mind and get back into your heart. You know what I mean? We have to start thinking from our heart, start thinking from our intuition, start thinking from our soul. And not even thinking, feeling from our, like, fuck thinking, wee brain, do you know what I mean? It's literally like, feel from our heart, feel from our soul, feel from our intuition. That's what's real. We have to start trusting ourselves. We really do. And look, this is a mirrored connection. So if you don't trust your twin, you're not trusting yourself, you're not trusting your connection, and you're not trusting your intuition. This is the most important thing we have to do here. With this big butt energy, fucking big butt, get out of my face. Do you know what I mean? It's literally like, oh, I think this is it, but, you know, and then you're like, oh, but what if this happens? But what if I'm wrong? But what if, but, fuck, but, no. But like, literally, it's like, literally, we have to stop butting everything and start feeling through this and start to understand it's not what we're thinking. It's not our past, you know. We are worthy of this. They're worthy of us. We're worthy of them. We're worthy of each other. We're worthy of divine love. But this is real. And it's only when we start to trust fully in ourselves, in our twin, in our connection, and in our intuition that we'll actually be able to come into alignment. If we're standing in our own way all the time. We're blocking ourselves over and over and over again. We're the ones in our own way between us and union. We think it's this, we think it's them, we think it's everything external. There is nothing in the way except yourself. And until you learn to relax into it and actually trust in this connection, trust in what you feel, stop trying to explain it with your human brain, and literally surrender and let go into that trust, that's when things will start to align. So thank you so much for listening today, and I really hope this resonates. If it does, please like and share, and please subscribe to my channel so I can reach as many people as possible. And if you'd like help on your journey, please book me for a free discovery call today. And I would love nothing more than to help you on your path. Also, another channel called Aligning with Angie, where I share a guided meditation every week. The info for that is in the description box. Also, I'm hosting an inner child healing workshop this Wednesday, the 4th of March at 6 p.m. Ireland UK time. This will be a 90-minute workshop. We'll be doing some practices, some exercises to do with self-worth, fear of abandonment, fear of rejection. There'll be also a hypnosis as well. If you want information for that, please comment below.